Lessons I am glad at almost 75 years of age that people taught me. I'm delighted to have been a guest on this particular podcast. What a wonderful man from up in Canada. I'm delighted to have been taught a couple of different things. Perhaps I'll remember some of it. Again, at almost 75. Johnny, when you're getting out of your car, leave the bags in, get out of the car, and a little organic strawberry, and then pick up the bag. Don't lift yourself up in the bag at the same time. Johnny, again my father, said, and go someplace, let the people who are in charge know who you are and pay your own way. And John, probably, based on your capability with math and interest in money, something that involves numbers would be a good profession for you. When I looked at my report cards, which my mom was kind enough to leave behind in the big bag one day, I discovered that my best subject in school was actually, much to my surprise, English. I guess all those years as a little kid and as an adult scribbling stories actually kind of sort of added up. If you read a lot and write a lot, eventually you just might get better at it. Just ask Stephen Pressfield that question, who is making a living as a copywriter. That's somebody who writes ads, which is a very difficult job to get and keep. And he decided he just had to leave to go write things. He's written Bagger Vance and a few other things that got made into movies and eventually did very well. However, before he became the amazing, gifted, talented, and employed novelist, screenwriter, and the like, he spent about 5 years writing things which did not see the light of day. As in live in your van, as in live in a little primitive hut, as in struggle, as in lose your family and your marriage, and if you're not careful, your dignity. Point. Following your passion can be a very productive, profitable, and costly pursuit. Me personally, I would love to have been a novelist. But early in life, when I was writing novels, and I did write novels, and stories, and speeches, and financial plans, and evaluations of businesses in my lifetime, and still am. Because it ain't over until it's over, and even though I saw 3 different fat ladies singing Geppetto the opera last night at Dallas Opera at the premiere, I'm still listening, learning, and applying. Another great lesson, which I'm not sure who taught me, but it was simply take the information you've been given, do something with it, starting with teaching someone else how to do it as well. When I graduated from Texas Christian University way back in 1970, it's getting to be 52 years ago, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Newcomer, James Newcomer, who had been in World War II, the invasion in Normandy, been the Vice Chancellor of Texas Christian University, told me that, John, this graduation from Texas Christian University will influence and color the rest of your life. It made me stop and think, how on earth could someone from New Jersey, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, of Italian-American parents, be so influenced by 3 years of my life? So I went to TCU for 3 years because I got a Newark College of Engineering for a semester where I discovered I couldn't draw, engineering graphics, couldn't spell, lack of a dictionary, but I could influence human behavior and be persuasive. A slightly more valuable skill throughout my lifetime than the other two. You can always hire somebody to proofread thanks to spell check, no worries. And God knows I don't have to design anything with a picture, and if I do, I can cut and paste pictures. Collect art. Don't seem to make that much art in terms of drawing. But TCU, Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas, is a small school, meaning when I went there back in 1967 to 1970 and graduated, TCU had about 6,000 or so students. Now it has, I think, less than 11,000 students. Whereas most of the universities it plays in sports have more freshmen than TCU's total enrollment. Some have more total enrollment than TCU has living alumni. So it gives you perspective on how a smaller school with a smaller population, with 6 times as many girls as boys, can somehow, with less than 2,000 male enrollment students, somehow field a basketball team that's gone to some tournaments, field a football team that has gone 5-0 so far this year, field a baseball team that went to the college baseball World Series several years in a row. And how could they recruit and hire so many coaches that go on to be recruited by other major schools, think University of Texas, and have professional football players coming out of that little school? Well, for a person who's only 5 feet 6.5 inches tall, when I was as tall as I ever was, and now shrunken to about 5'5", learning how to overcome being a miniature male has been a mighty, handy thing to do. How do you do that? One, you discover what you're good at. How do you do that? You discover your talents, you develop your talents, you deploy your talents, and you notice that people keep asking you to do that job again and again, and you maintain your passion and curiosity about it every ding-dong day. In other words, you listen, learn, apply, disseminate, share, encourage, and do your best to look good when you go into the opera and stand next to your wife. Go check us out on Facebook, that is John and Susie, and see how gorgeous Susie looked with her pearls, and how nice I looked in someone else's tuxedo. Now, I've got 5 tuxedos plus a dinner jacket. And you might say, how on earth, Bud, did you get 5 tuxedos? Well, one day, Bob Kirkpatrick, a neighbor, announced that he had a bunch of suits that his dad had. And his dad was about the same size as I am, miniature male. He would love to give those to me. I have enough suits, I had enough suits long before Bob said that to me. But he came over one Sunday morning, rang the bell. His hands and arms were full of suits, and apparently 2 of them were some lovely tuxedos. One was a Muni, M-U-N-I, I have to look that up, and the other was Neiman Marcus. They both fit. I also have a Hickey Freeman tuxedo that I bought in 2000, and it seemed a little tight, but I think next time I am going to wear that. Because son of a gun, the tuxedo that fit just fine kept sliding down my waist. So, lessons to learn. 1. Discover, develop, and deploy your capabilities. 2. Get out of the car first and then get your bags out. 3. Let the people know who are in charge of whatever it is you're doing, who you are, and pay your own way. This is John Checky, co-founder of Checky Financial and husband to Janet Susan Checky. Bye.